Chapter 244 is what we've been waiting for in Jujutsu Kaisen. The judge and the executioner are about to put Sukuna on trial. We've really been waiting to see what Higuruma and Yuji were going to be able to do to Sukuna. And in 244, we got to see all the types of nuances, all the complex situations that could happen due to the domain expansion of Higuruma's domain. Higuruma is the guy that can do the domain expansion, and it puts you in a mock trial where it basically gives you a debuff, or it executes you, or it finds you guilty, and or you can't use certain curse techniques. It inhibits your ability to do things while you're inside of the domain. After, I thought it was just really cool how nuanced and complex his domain is, because Higuruma was basically very distraught because he doesn't actually know if Sukuna would be able to get a death penalty in his mock trial. So he doesn't know that his domain expansion would actually be able to do the deed to go ahead and kill Sukuna, because we don't know if the laws apply to the modern era. We don't know if the laws apply to the Heian era, because Sukuna is basically thousands of years old or hundreds of years old, and we don't know if it's based off the laws back then or if it's based off the laws back in the modern era. It doesn't matter, maybe because a lot of laws have changed since then. Are we going by the old code of law? Are we going by the new code of law? Are we taking into account all the changes that have happened through then? And so it's really complex of how they're going to be able to try Sukuna in the court of law. And then it's also crazy how much research and dedication that Gege's actually put into place to even think about all these things. I'm pretty sure Gege probably didn't know about this unless he was like a lawyer in his past time. So he probably had to do a lot of research and figure out all the nuances and complexities in law, which there probably is, because people go to law school and it takes them 4 or 5 years to get a law degree. So I would say that there's a lot of information that's going on there, and then they have to take the bar, and then they have to do all these things to become an actual lawyer. So I'm pretty sure it's really complex, and then just trials in general take years and years sometimes if it's a very complex case. And we've seen this for famous cases like O.J. Simpson, all these other cases. It's also amazing the stark comparison of domain expansion in Jujutsu Kaisen, because now we have Higuruma's domain expansion where it's basically a mock trial, but then you also have like Jogo's domain expansion, which is not complex, not nuanced. It's all just a direct hit of a volcano and fire and heat. You can't escape the fire and heat in his domain expansion. But Higuruma's domain expansion, you have to go over all the law codes. You have to go over if it's innocent or guilty. You have to have eyewitnesses. You have to have, all these nuanced things in law that actually happen in a judicial system. But with Jogo's domain, it's, hey, very hot, you die. So that's really all that it comes down to, because it's crazy how Gege has created a whole bunch of domain expansions in this power system that he has going on in Jujutsu Kaisen, and all of them are uniquely different. And I would say that Higuruma's domain expansion is probably one of the most unique domain expansions. I would say Hikari is a close second. I would say that Hikari's domain expansion is on another level. You probably have to make a whole YouTube video explaining how that domain expansion works, and it'll probably be like a 30-minute long video. And in 244, we also get a sneak peek onto what Yuji's actual curse technique could be, or maybe if that's even it is his curse technique. Maybe it's like a evolved version of Divergent Fist, because as we know, Divergent Fist is basically Yuji using his cursed energy and basically concentrating it into his punches. And we know that Divergent Fist has a aftershock effect. So if he hits you, you get the physical effect, but then afterwards you get the cursed energy effect, just like kind of a lag. And we saw that he was doing that against Sukuna when Higuruma and Yuji engaged in combat with Sukuna to get him into his domain. So he actually punched him, and it showed that he like reverberated, or he vibrated a little bit, and I guess it hurt him a little bit, or he just wasn't used to that. So it's going to be crazy how what we see Yuji's actual curse technique could be, or if it's just evolved version of Divergent Fist. But we really want to see what Yuji's actual curse technique is. If he has a domain expansion, we really want to see that. He's basically beginning the shit end of the stick for most of the novel, but he is really developing into a main character. As you can see in the Shibuya Incident arc in the anime, you see that how stressed out he's getting and how he's able to move past that stress. But I think that it's really cool to see what kind of power he could have in the upcoming chapters, and see if it's related to Sukuna at all, if it's related to like soul transfiguration, or if it's like a vibration, let's just say Kukusaki. Maybe he has a curse technique that's similar to that. But yeah, that's really all that there was in 244. If you guys have any more insights or reactions to the chapter that you guys want to put in, go ahead and leave them down below and give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you guys like Jujutsu Kaisen videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.